Hello, today I have a message called Along the Way. So, beginning with, you perceive in accordance with your willingness to see what is actually here. So, when I feel resistance, there's resistance against my own willingness. There's one will, one true will, that I share with everyone and with God. And if you're God allergic, you could say, I share one will with that which is real, because there's only one of us. So I perceive in accordance with my willingness. And when there's resistance here, it's like I've allowed this alien substance to come on the scene that would resist or cover up what my willingness, my expanding willingness, your expanding willingness, what that would show us. There's something that's actually here, and it's past anything our ego would request, and it's past anything our ego would think it doesn't want to see or experience. It's past all of that, and it's actually here, and it's always here, and that's love. I don't have to pretend to understand it. I don't have to try to force a character to enact things in a way the separate I would define as loving, because the whole thing's a fiction. All of that's a fiction. Any guilt touching any part of love, any sense of heavy obligation touching anything that the ego would call love, that's not love. And we don't have to try to fake enact that. It's more interesting to see that everyone you think you know, they are love, and so are you. And shining behind everything, no matter if the surface is good as bad or is good, seems to be good or bad, is love. What connects everything is love. Love is real. Nothing I would put on top of love to cover it up. The elements of time and space, not real. And so the ego can't do anything with love. It can't do anything with what is real. It does stuff with illusion. So what I'm learning is a steady gaze. You know what people call the Gen Z stare? If you don't worry about it. But it's like that. It's a steady gaze toward what is actually here, not toward what is not here. But if you do know the Gen Z gaze, there are like jokes about people becoming unnerved by someone just kind of blankly staring at them. And you could go into ego's definitions of, well, this person could be loving instead of what I'm calling rude, right? But really, if I feel unnerved in any situation, that's me, depending on the wrong juice, the juice of fear. And I can see that being can only ever be love. And of course I don't, as an ego. I cannot understand love, and I don't need to pretend to. I don't need to define it. It's probably enough to say it's real, it's powerful, it can be relied upon, it's the only thing that's real. I cannot possibly call one person loving and another person unloving. That's the fiction I'm making up. That's the misuse I'm making of love. And I'm seeing and experiencing the misuse I'm making of love, because if I'm making an illusion, its power source is still love, because love is the only power source. So I'm plugged into my power source all the time, and I've used it to try to invert it, to make an illusion where something unloving could meet something loving. That's not love. Both are the fakes. Both are the fakes that I made up, and I'm seeing and I'm experiencing. But what is real is still here. It can lead us all through and out of what we imagine together toward what is real. And it would be silly for me to pretend, hey, I'm beyond all this. And if you follow me, you'll get to where I am. You're exactly where I am. You're exactly what I am. And everyone is each other's saviors. And we only have to look toward one we call another. And if there's any interruption in peace, joy, well-being, as we look toward one we call another, then that's how that one's saving us. They're letting us know where we're still attached to this false idea of ourselves. Everyone saves everyone. Okay. It's safe to allow what isn't here to fall away. So we have fearful dependence on specific aspects of time and space. And as we notice this, we can start to highlight it, let it sit in the light, understand it's not real, and that seeing that it isn't real and there's light shining behind it does enough. It does enough to lead us to the next step, and the next step, and the next. So we don't have to force anything to change, but stopping to have intentional moments of awareness and recognition takes us to the next step and the next step. And safety, that's what everyone and everything is. That's what's shining behind everyone and everything. It's not embedded in a certain one aspect of the illusion, and then lack of safety is embedded in certain other aspects of the illusion, and they fight with each other, safety versus lack of safety. Safety is actually everywhere, behind everything, as the essential nature of everyone and everything, behind any fear of projected upon it. It's here. So anything that isn't here, I can allow to go. And where I feel fear, I'm trying to hold on to the fearful illusion I've projected on top of what is actually here. I'm trying to hold on to that. That's why it's completely okay to be very honest with yourself about what you're feeling, because that's where you see you're attached, and that's where you can have a moment to recognize that it's okay to allow it to go. You don't need that. You're not that. You were never that. No one you know was ever that. No one you know was ever an illusion. They're just what they are and what they always have been. Form is meaningless, while content is actual. So everyone has the same content. You could call it truth, you could call it love, you could call it light. And then I project upon all you guys the stuff that's fear. And then I see difference among you. And that's my doing. And it is this I can undo. And you have the same power. You're doing your projection of fear. You are powerful. You are power. You can undo it. You can have it undone for you by the power you are, the power you share with everyone and everything. The actual content of anything we look upon is love. It's reality. Past the fearful surface. I have to get past it. There's something that's transparent glass that I have to look through. Now the ego was to tell me everything that is transparent glass is a real thing that can give me happiness, like money, or that can take away my happiness. You know, some element in your day-to-day that you believe could take away your happiness, whatever that is for you. Ego tells us that's real. So the thing, let's say money, that we believe could make us happy, that's transparent glass. Whatever it is we believe can take away or block our happiness, that's transparent glass. We have to look through the glass and then see what's beyond it. Everything, everyone has the same basic content. And I myself have projected fear on it. And then I experience on that basis. And there's our responsibility. It's not blame. It's responsibility. I haven't projected anything real. There is something real, and I've projected upon it, but I haven't projected anything real upon it. What's real remains real, despite anything I've projected. What is evergreen is the opportunity to see all as they are. So that's our big opportunity today. Anyone we look upon, we have the opportunity to see the innocence that they are. Anyone we look upon, we have the opportunity to see the love that they are. Our defenses are what blocks this. And fortunately for us, we can feel our defenses. And it seems the deeper I go into this, the higher defenses I see that I've built. And they're like, oh my goodness, look at that one. That's the one I swore never to let go of. And then you realize it's fiction and it's meaningless, and there's no reason not to let it go. It doesn't keep me safe. It's blocking the sight of my very safety. It might be offering me a time and space fiction of safety, but it's blocking the sight of my actual safety and the safety of everyone I call as else. So there's no reason not to let that go. It's much easier to sit here and receive and talk about it, it seems, than to, when I'm back in, walking through my daily life, to really apply it thoroughly and consistently. But that's what practice is for. Practice is for application. And if I want nothing more than to see everyone as they are, not to hide from everyone, to see them as they are, then I get what I want. I can see them as they truly are, not as some form of the fear I have projected upon them. The fear I've projected upon them can take an especially positive form, and ego will tell me, you like this. You want this close to you. You want this near you. The fear I've projected upon them can take an especially negative form, and then ego will tell me, you want them away from you. You want them to have nothing to do with you. You want to keep them away. And ego might tell me, if you keep them close to you, there's something you can get from them that will benefit you. And ego might tell me, if the fear I'm projecting upon them has taken a negative form, will say, if you can keep them away from you, you can keep yourself safe. That's my separate self-definition I'm trying to keep safe. Or I might try to bring you close to me and then extract and enhance my separate self-definition. Am I doing anything real? Absolutely not. All of that's fiction. But that's what's happening in the mind. These are the ego thoughts generated because I wanted to see something different than what's real. But as I go along my path here, I can remember I want nothing more than to see fully what is real and to allow everything that's unreal to fall away, let the scales fall from my eyes. Everyone has a part to play, and they get informed of their part along the way. That's where I can put full trust in everyone. No matter who it is, they have their part to play. And me too, I have a part to play. And I get informed each and every step along the way. I get informed. As long as there still seems to be a being enacting a role, every bit of that role can come from what's real. It's still an illusion I'm experiencing. We get a substitute illusion from Holy Spirit that walks us through and out of what we made. So as I'm walking, I'm still walking through a fiction, but it's a benign, gentle fiction that acknowledges my willingness to be released from the nightmare I made. So Holy Spirit can give us a benign, gentle fiction that acknowledges our willingness to be released from the nightmare we made. And we can always turn toward that. And when we're feeling off in any way, we've turned away from it. We've turned back toward the fiction we ourselves would make alone, where we're subject to what we would call bad or evil forces within this illusion we've made up. But you can always turn back. I turn back toward Spirit. And Spirit's going to carry me through and out of the nightmare I made. When I don't feel good, I've taken up the reins again, and I've tried to be in charge of the fiction. And when I relax out of that, then I'm being carried along. So it's something we learn. And every moment's a chance to drop what we don't need on our journey. We can pack very lightly. We need no luggage at all on our journey. And every day is a chance for me to see this. Okay. Hope that's helpful. Thank you.